You've heard the phrases, money makes money and the rich are getting richer. Also, the more money you have, the more money you make. You've probably heard the phrase, mo money, mo problems. That's for another day, however. But what we will be discussing today are the reasons why your net worth accelerates after getting to 100K and how you can get to 100K in the quickest possible way. I had a conversation with one of my mentors recently about this, and whilst I have passed the 100K mark, this would have really helped me when I started my journey. Don't focus on 1 million, focus on the first 100K. But firstly, I want to get into how you can get to 100K, as this is actually the hardest part. Let's go. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's right-hand man, who died very recently at the grand old age of 99, once said, getting to the first 100K is but once you cross that threshold, your savings begin to do the heavy lifting for you. Let me give you a real-life example of why getting to 100K is so hard. Getting to 100K is entirely based on you, your spending habits, and how much you save and invest. And everyone, please hang on to my last point, how much you save and invest. The difference between saving and investing can have a huge impact on the timing in which you will reach 100K. Let's take an example. You're starting to save $200 per month today, and you lock this into a savings account that's going to pay, let's say, 2% interest per year, or you invest this money in the S&P 500 via an index tracker, which returns you 10% per annum. Keep these calculations on screen now, because guess how long it will take you to get to 100K in each scenario? 31 years for the 2% savings account and 16.5 years based on a 10% return per year. I bet you are all really shocked right now. Let me know in the comments below what your guesses were. It's super important you educate yourself on where to invest your money, whether that be through a financial advisor or if you are a DIY investor. If you want more tips on investing, please check the show notes below and sign up to my weekly newsletter, where there is a section on investing and my take on this for the week. Now, what you've just seen in my example is how by investing your money rather than saving your money will get you to 100K in around half the time. However, I'm going to make an assumption for some of my viewers that you might want to do this even quicker. Now, for those of you who want everything now, I used to be one of you chomping at the bit. I need to make millions today. But let me bring you back to the start of my video where I said, don't focus on earning 1 million, focus on the first 100K. We need to be mindful of this quote, but to give you a little boost, you'll see my video in the screen here on my best 5 side hustles to make you 1K per month. Give this a watch, as you can still invest your money in the same way as my example above, but maybe earn more money from a side hustle, which can get you to 100K quicker. Now, let's say you could save $1,000 per month rather than $200 per month, because you've watched my video on side hustles, you've taken action. How long would it take you to get to 100K net worth? Just over 6 years. So potentially by watching this video, you have cut your time horizon to reach 100K at the start of the video from 31 years to just over 6. You can thank me by ringing that bell and subscribing for more of my content. Don't worry. Okay, so I've explained how you can get to 100K, which is the hardest part, trust me. I've been there and done it. So why will your net worth accelerate once you've reached the 100K milestone? Albert Einstein once said, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Let me give you an interesting example. I want you to answer this before I tell you. If I was to give you 2 choices between an immediate cash payment of $1 million or a magic penny that doubled every 30 days, which one would you choose? Think about it. Now, most people would go all Jerry Maguire. Show me the money! Show me the money! However, if we break this down, if you double 1 penny for 30 days, that penny would be worth over $5 million. Now check this out. Do you know what your penny would be worth even by day 20? $5,000. The magic of compounding works in later years, or when you have a pot of money large enough that 10% a year can make a huge difference to your investment pot. Okay, assuming you've reached your 100K, let's see over the next 10 years how your 100K performs based on a 10% interest rate. And we are now going to invest $1,000 per month because your side hustle is making you a ton of cash, or it's turned into your business potentially, which you love, and you're making the most money that you've ever made. You will now be sitting on a nest egg of over 475K at the end of the next 10 years. And just take a look at years 9 and 10 on the screen, where you'll accrue a massive $56,000 in gains. This could be even more than you're earning today in your current employment or your business. Okay, so I'm going to take you back one step here to 100K. And we're going to look at a couple of reasons why your net worth accelerates past 100K at this point in your journey. In relation to money, the law of attraction on financial abundance and prosperity works in many ways, such as having a positive mindset and believing that you do deserve wealth in abundance. Having a positive mindset about money can shift your energy to attract more financial opportunities. A working example of this was when I experienced a large capital event for me personally in 2022 when I sold part of my business based on a multi-million-dollar valuation. I was sitting with a few investment opportunities and they were all below market value, as I believe they were offered to me because I have an abundance mindset and the companies wanted my investment as well due to what I could bring to the table based on my experience. Number 2 is risk tolerance. I believe once your net worth reaches 100K and you understand how money works and you give it the respect it deserves, of course, then risk tolerance increases. On your own journey, when you have a pot of money of around, let's say, $2,000, speculating $1,000 either into a side hustle or an investment may seem quite daunting and you are betting the house. When you have $100,000, even if you put 10% of this value towards a speculative investment, a side hustle, or even starting a business, you are still left with a substantial amount of cash. The point here is that your tolerance to risk may increase when you have a substantial amount of monetary assets, and this can be another catalyst to exponential growth of your 100K. Number 3, generally, higher net worth people tend to have access to more tax-efficient vehicles or better advice in general, whether this be bankers or solicitors. Wealthy people tend to set up structures such as family trusts and other structures to ensure their wealth is outside the scope of taxation from the government. Once you have a certain level of wealth, you can be assigned your own personal private banker who will showcase investments that the average person on the street just cannot access. Again, you might enjoy better returns than Joe Public due to you having a higher net worth, thus accelerating your wealth. Before we wrap up today, we've discussed the investing versus saving argument, the power of compound interest, and why your net worth accelerates after 100K. However, it's equally as important to ensure that when we get to 100K, we do not get complacent. It is very easy to either stop investing or even worse, start pulling money out of your 100K pot, which will have a huge impact on your wealth accelerating. If you take a look at the screen now, in this scenario, if we just leave the 100K in your investment account and the rate of return is 10%, you will have over 270K invested. Now, compare this to my example earlier in the video where you keep on investing each month, you'd be over 200K worse off by not being consistent and investing that $1,000 per month. And you are adding years onto your working life by not being consistent. That brings me to the end of the video, everyone. Ring that bell, like and subscribe. There's more videos on your screen, as you can see right now, to watch, and I'll see you all in the next one.